Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is the 26th of April 2025, and the top news for crypto is as follows. We will start today's episode with the head of the National Bank of Switzerland. Those who follow cryptocurrency news may have heard that the Swiss National Bank bought shares in MicroStrategy. However, the head of the bank said that the bank will not buy Bitcoin because the currency is not considered stable or safe. However, it did buy shares in MicroStrategy, which only buys Bitcoin. And from the Swiss National Bank, which probably wants changes in its management, we move on to our ETFs, starting with the spot Bitcoin ETF, where only BlackRock is making serious moves. On April 24th, BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF had inflows of $327 million, so the day closed with inflows of $442 million. While on April 25th, we don't know what BlackRock has done, but all the other ETFs managed to have total inflows of $139 million. Continuing with our ETFs, let's note that the Bitcoin ETF saw positive inflows of $2.7 million in a week. BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF is also nearing a point where it will own 3% of the total Bitcoin supply worldwide. And to round out our ETF section, the first XRP ETF is now a reality and has begun trading in Brazil on Hashdex. We're waiting for a counterpart in the US where the money is. Meanwhile, Bitwise is also pursuing an ETF for the NEAR Protocol, adding yet another ETF for this particular cryptocurrency. Moving from ETFs to companies. Let's talk about a company that wants to acquire Dogecoin, but the market didn't like it. Specifically, biopharmaceutical and technology company Coeptis Therapeutics has partnered with Dogecoin Z-Squared, a Dogecoin mining company. This partnership essentially aims to make the two companies the largest holders of Dogecoin. However, after the move was announced, the company's stock price fell by 38% in just one day. That certainly didn't sit well with investors. Continuing with companies, we turn to Semler Scientific, which bought more Bitcoin. It bought $10 million worth of Bitcoin, or 111 BTC, and now owns a total of 3,300 BTC. Not bad. From there, we move on to real-world assets, a sector that BlackRock seems to dominate. According to real-world assets reports, we are seeing the rise of tokenized treasuries, real-world cash or bonds transferred to the blockchain. In this space, Securitize, the company that manages BlackRock's tokenized capital, holds 41% of the market share. Ondo Finance has 16% and Franklin Templeton has 11%. So as you can see, only a few big players dominate this space. And for the latest news of the day, we can't leave out SUI, whose price has increased by 69% in the last 7 days. So everyone is talking about SUI right now. In the last 24 hours, SUI has had a lot of positive news and growing popularity. First of all, Grayscale announced the Grayscale SUI Trust, an investment product for investors interested in SUI, which could eventually turn into an ETF, as is often the case. Additionally, SUI has partnered with xMoney and xPortal to launch a virtual Mastercard for SUI. You can use this card to pay via Google Pay and Apple Wallet. Let's say the card looks something like this, based on the image you see on your screen. More information is available below in the description. And for the latest news about SUI, we're gonna go with rumors. Essentially, nothing is certain. However, maybe SUI is doing something with Pokémon. Let's say there's a company called Parasol Technologies that was acquired by Miston Labs, the company that makes SUI. The acquisition announcement came on the same day as the change to Pokémon Home's privacy policy. Pokémon Home is essentially a cloud-based Pokémon storage and transfer service so that people can trade their Pokémon, if I'm not mistaken. This change has now added Parasol Technologies, the company that SUI bought, essentially, to the policies of that app, so that company can also receive data from Pokémon Home. So rumors are that SUI is going to do something with this market, allowing you to trade your Pokémon on SUI as NFTs. You can convert them into NFTs and trade them all on the SUI network. Let's just say nothing is certain, but that's what the rumors say. Where there's smoke, as you know, there might be fire. And to wrap things up, it's time to look at the cryptocurrency market, with Bitcoin sitting at $94,000, with the price holding strong so far. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is the 26th of April 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.